Yeah, man. I mean, everything looks a lot better.
Man, so how you doing over there in the fine, beautiful Colorado?
You know, just trying to do big things. Just
Hold on. Start over.
wow.
She said she gave no fucks and then just interrupted.
That's some fucked up. That's some stuff. Man, we could get in trouble for that. This is a family program.
I know it. I know it.
We're not
I know
live.
it. Yeah, we were. That's why I'm laughing.
Oh, sorry.
No, she's not. She's.
Wait, you gotta stop it, brother.
Oh, wait. Let's try this again.
All right, let's go.
I mean, take number 2 already.
Mm.
I'm doing good, you know, trying to enjoy the nice weather before school starts, you know, trying to get out and do big things and all that other stuff, you know.
Good for you, man. Good for you. I've seen it. It looks like you're always on a vacation nowadays. You always got the pool in the background. I'm happy for you.
Man, you know, I'm trying to fake it, trying to get that Jay-Z vibe going, you know, like I
Okay.
got my own pool, you know, stuff like that. Don't mind the
Right.
people in the background. I let them use it, you know, that's okay.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I'm not mad at you.
Thank you.
Uh,
I mean, I know you out there in Florida, you got the beaches and all that other good stuff. So,
yes, I've been working on my tan. I'm living the life. But we got some people here. Welcome to the Three Dreams Show.
welcome.
You got your boy here, Derek Martin, co-host across the way.
All
across
the way.
land, the only dude I'm rolling with, James Kern. How you doing over there, brother?
Man, I'm trying to do big things out here, you know, trying to look good, you know, get swole like a couple of people I done heard hit the gym, you know, trying to.
Yeah, you've been living that fit life.
You know, I'm trying to get on them steroids, but, you know,
Oh my,
they work for Barry, they work for Mark, you know.
they drug testing nowadays, brother.
Well, wait a minute now, this ain't performance enhancing. Look at me.
Look at me.
I mean, I got the wrong stuff. I need to talk to somebody. Anyways,
You look like you can eat a whole snack right now.
a snack man, stop it. I'm on that. I can eat everything, anything in front of me and still look like a beanpole.
You right.
You
Listen,
know.
So let speaking of this, let's jump into some baseball, man. How do you feel about King Felix? You know, pretty much his whole situation, being told you're not the guy in the sets and hit the bullpen. How you feel about that? Let's start with baseball.
I mean, with that, I can't be too upset. We've got a quality pitcher who's just having a down year. I mean, when it comes up to your time in the rotation to pitch, if you can't do it up to the level we need you, it's okay, man. You know, let's put you in the bullpen. Maybe the extra rest will help him out, you know, because you don't pitch every night. And maybe that's just what it is, because he's been the guy for so long that time catches up with everybody, and everybody needs that break. We all can't be LeBron, and in our last season, you know, last season he played almost every game.
Right.
You know, not everybody's built to do that, and not everybody can handle that workload. So, I mean, I'm not upset. It's not like they said, hey, man, we're going to send you down to AAA, you know, or something like, you know, something real disrespectful. They're just like, hey, move you to the bullpen, let somebody else get a crack at it, and, you know, maybe you help us out, we can win.
Back.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my thing. This is tough for me, this one. Here's why. As a Yankee supporter, I seen one of our pitchers who also has a big name that travels, CC Sabathia. He also have up and downs where I'm ready to say, you know what, let's move him. Let's say F this, let's move on and go elsewhere. That's how frustrating he's at. But we stuck by his side, and he's come through for us later on in the playoffs and whatnot. So it's tough for me. I feel like maybe, you know, you call the dude king for a reason. Obviously, it was going to come a time where, you know, you go through your ups and downs. Everyone has it. I feel as though, what if this has that negative effect where it messes with his mental now, you know, and now he hits that slump. I feel like for me, I think you keep rolling with him and show the support just because that's what I seen my organization do, and it worked for us. I mean, CC's had some big games when I was like, man, it's time to do the same, move on from him, and we stuck by him, and he's come through for us.
But see, I don't feel like they moved on from him. I felt like they did what was best for the organization. They did what was best to keep the train moving. I mean, we all know it's sports. If you can't
Right.
produce, you're gonna get we're gonna move on from you because we're paying you too much for you not to produce. But for them to move him to the bullpen, I'm like, that's not
So you can
horrible.
live. You can live with that.
I can live with that. I can live with maybe letting him work his way back into the rotation because as soon as he has a good relief out, I say two good relief outings, he's back in the rotation. So maybe it's
Okay.
just one of those things where it's like, hey, we're gonna give you a mini break. No disrespect. I feel like, of course, they had to talk to him before they did this. It wasn't like he showed up to work and like, hey, man, you're going to the bullpen. So that's why
Right.
I
Right.
feel
Right.
like it's okay because I feel like there had to been some communication because, like you said, you don't get called king for a reason. Just not everybody gonna walk off the street and be like, hey,
And that's the tough part for me because the dude he come on he's in a sense the face. He when you think of that team, that's who you think of in a sense. So that one's tough for me. It sucks to see one of your big time pitchers have to go through that. I think for me, I think I stick with him a little bit. Yeah, you're going through a struggle, but I feel like there's a time where all big time pitchers go through this. And granted, yeah, he's going through it, and they want to contend. I get it. They want to be in that push, but I don't think this is who he's going to be. I think he'll bounce back, and I think that I would have kept him in the rotation for me.
so just
I
a
think,
quick.
I think I would go through the growing pains with him. I think he's earned that as the face of the city for the organization.
So just a quick question. Now, let's say he was a hitter. Let's say this was Judge. He's in a slump, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna sit you on the bench for a little bit, just to get somebody else in there." Would you be upset with that, or would you be
Well,
because pitching
that's
and hitting
another
is two different things?
Yankee. That's another Yankee who has been through it. Judges went through a pretty big slump last year. But you got to stick with him because when he's hot, right?
Okay.
And at any time, you never know. Any bat can be that home run. And bringing up Judge, that is the one thing I've said I've wished that he works on and tries to improve on is just coming up and trying to become more of a contact guy. Let's just get bodies on base and we could go from there. Type of not every hit has to be that home run hit. I think if he matures to that dude is going to be unstoppable. It seems like every time he comes up though, he's looking for that home run hit, which I'm not mad at him. He kills the ball when he hits it. The dude's on real big, like he's ridiculously built, So hey, if he becomes a contact hitter though, where he comes up and he's like he could realize the situation, like okay, cool, let me just get on base, right?
Well, I mean,
I think we're looking at a situation here.
right there, I feel like we've gotten to the point to where everybody digs the long ball. Nobody's trying to hit for contact. Everybody wants to hit for power. I mean, if you look at some of the stats that are out there right now with launch angle, you can see people have just like, we're going to try to uppercut the ball, put some backspin on it, and get it out here. I mean, the days of contact hitting are almost gone. I mean, if you look at it now that they've incorporated the shift, most of the times, line drive up the middle was a base hit.
Right.
Now it's an automatic out. And you're like, wait a minute. And it's almost like you either hit the ball out or you try your best to like not hit it at somebody, which seems impossible. But I mean, baseball is changing like with every sport. But
speaking of that, I got another question if you don't mind for you, brother, sticking with baseball and the change. So recently we got Barry Bonds' number being retired.
yes, sir.
Is this a yay or nay for you? You cool with this? Do you like it? How do you feel?
So for me, the Barry Bonds thing, I feel like he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so
But
you put him in the Hall of Fame.
But I feel like the whole story needs to be told. Like he gets in there, but we need to make sure everybody understands that at some point in time he did use performance enhancing drugs, or but not keep him out, but just make sure. I don't feel like anybody should be kept out of the Hall of Fame. Like even Pete Rose, like I feel like he should be in there, but his story should be told. Like in full detail. Like we want.
So maybe next to his plaque or on the plaque actually have a section that says Barry Bonds, his stats, his whole story, but was also involved in the steroid.
Yes.
Investigation where he did come and it did come out where he did end up using steroids. Boom.
I feel like
something along those lines.
Something along those lines. So that way we don't hide, the bad part. He was a great player.
Absolutely, you can't take it away.
You can't take that away from him. But at the same time, for me as a fan, I want to make sure the whole story is told, so that way people can make their own opinions about him. You read the whole story and you're like, okay, well he did all this great stuff, but he had this little hiccup. I still think he's a great player, and I think they should allow the people like Mark McGwire, stuff like that. They should be in there and they should get the same treatment. Hey, you're going to be in there, but we're going to tell the dark side of your history too. We're not going to make it sound like you were the greatest, the All-American player, stuff like that.
Something to add to, I personally, as a fan, I feel like if we were to go visit, that would be it'd be more interesting to see, seeing the guy. If I'm looking at his whole story and being like, wow, I didn't know this part, and that would be more interesting. I would definitely enjoy that, I feel like. But here's my take on this and the tough part for me. So right now and today, as far as the NBA, NFL, and MLB, in order for me, as organizations being ran and seeming like they got a grip on things, it goes for me. NBA, I think they know what they want. They know players know what they can do, can't do. Hey, and they accept it. The flop thing, they know they know off rip they're going to get a fine, right? But they accept it.
Yeah.
Boom, we can live with that. NFL, they're in second place. I feel like they're lost when it comes to some stuff, but they're still going to draw their fans.
So let me hop in here real quick. For the NFL, I don't think the NFL should be number 2 because I feel like the NFL kind of picks and chooses how to enforce the rules. So,
but here,
okay.
But with that same thing, that brings me to number 3. MLB, without a question, was America's game, right?
Okay.
There was no question that was America's game. MLB now isn't America's sport, right? You can argue football is by far, the most watched and most popular sport here. And I don't know for sure if it is the most watched, but I'm willing to say off the top of my head that it is. With that being said, there's so much disagreement here, and it just seems like they've done so much to lose fans. It doesn't seem. That's the only reason I put them third. And here's what I would like in this situation. Okay, if I just want a solid stance. Okay, so if we're gonna say the steroids are bad, whatnot, boom, let's stick with it. In that case, if we're looking at it as Barry Bonds is a cheater and we're punishing him, then no. In that regards, no. Don't retire his jersey. And I do understand that's the organization, not the whole MLB. But this is why I put him third, because it almost makes it seem like your teams and organizations aren't even on the same level as the company itself, or you know what I mean? So it kind of makes it look sketchy. So you mean to tell me I'm going to retire this guy's jersey, and because he did all this great stuff, his stats are outstanding, but yet he's not going to go in the Hall of Fame because he cheated? Well, I just retired his number and he cheated. You see what I'm saying? So it seems a little messy for me. Well, so what I would want them to do is just get on the same page. Boom. If he's retired.
Here's the thing, though. I agree with all that, but I mean, you got to admit the man did great things for the sport. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
He put a lot of people in the stands. People were excited. I remember the summer when him, when he broke the record, everybody was like, wow, But at the same time, if I'm willing to retire his number, and Willie Mays comes out and says, hey, we should put him in there, I feel like we need to stop and listen. Listen to that. Okay, Willie Mays, one of the greatest players ever, is saying, "Hey, we need to do this. Let's entertain that idea." I mean, I almost think it's becoming to the point to where people want to keep the game, pure. They don't want any bad, they don't want any cheaters or anything like that.
Let me put it like this. Okay, you're a Rockies fan, right?
Right.
If you had a player on your team as a fan, who just started killing it for 3 seasons or so, killing it, boom. You find out he pops out hot, and it was steroids. Does it affect how you feel about him and all he did as a fan?
First off, I'm going to use the Edelman defense for him. Pretend like I didn't know what was going on. TV12 hooked me up and stuff like that. But no, I would, as a fan, yes, I would be disappointed. But almost at the same time, I'd be like, okay, he got caught. Now who's next? Because like if it's just him, if it was just him doing it, you got to pay the piper. But if it's somebody that was somebody else in the locker room started this whole trend and then he just got caught up in it, shame on him. I'm not too disappointed. I'm disappointed in the guy who brought it in because we all know what's going to happen.
About baseball, though, we're still looking for. Okay, it's going to be only a matter of time, right? Where we're like, oh, I know Judge is on the juice. He's got to be on the juice. It's a matter of time before
he's on that great juice.
It's a matter of time. He's got to be the juice. There's no way. This dude was born just this big of a man. There's no way. Well, I don't care who his parents are, right? That's what's going to happen.
I mean, look at Stan.
That's what we look for though in baseball. It's always who's next up, who's on the stuff, and that's how we look at it.
I mean, that's true, but I agree with you. It's going to happen to everybody. I mean,
I'll tell you who I like though that deserves the respect for being able to keep his name clean for so long. Shout out to Albert Pujols, man. I just like the way he just carried it under the radar. He just
wait for it.
I've been waiting for it. I actually called him out, man. I said a few years ago, listen, Albert's next.
I mean, if you think about it, he's probably going to pop hot for Viagra here pretty soon, and then they can like get out, get out.
It's tough out here.
It's rough in the streets.
Oh, man.
I mean, so now we're gonna hit up baseball. Where do you want to go to now? I mean, we got.
I think it feels right to head to the basketball world, man.
Okay, well, what we gonna do out here? What we gonna do out here? I mean, you want to get schooled like Kobe?
Recently, we got our boy Carmelo committing to Houston and saying he's coming off the bench. You buying this, or how you feeling about it?
For me, I think this is a good move for Carmelo. I wish you'd have did it in OKC. I feel like he's another great player that he's at that point in time where he's starting to slow down. I mean, yes, he has the most beautiful mid-range jumper you'll ever see, and stuff like that. But he's just getting to the point where he needs to get his ring and get out. Wherever he can go. So if you can't win it with Houston, go to Golden State. I mean, just going out there,
Just chase it.
I mean, Karl Malone did it. Gary Payton did it. Steve Nash did it. They all did it. And I think it's that time to where Carmelo just needs to accept. I mean, I made $25 million for not playing the game.
He's living his best life.
Yeah, just let me go ahead and sit down. And like you mentioned earlier, CP3 might have been able to talk him into it. Him and D'Antoni. D'Antoni might have been like, "Hey, man, if you come off the bench, you're the option number one. The offense is going to run through you." So I think.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think he's going to be option number one, but I think
with the second unit,
touches. I think he gets more touches with CP3 and Harden. When they drive, I think they're going to draw so much attention that it's definitely possible to kick out to him. I think he'll have more opportunities than OKC. I think the system will fit him more. And I think that might be also part of the reason. Obviously, CP3 being one of his top friends. And then D'Antoni's system is an offense system. Like, these dudes are going to try to shoot. Points-wise, they're probably one of the only team point-wise that are going to score as much as Golden State. You know, they're just going to keep putting the ball up. So I think this fits his style.
Well, I mean, doesn't matter. We all know who's going to win the NBA championship. I mean,
yeah, that's the truth.
I mean,
that is the truth.
Ain't gonna be anybody in the East because wait a minute.
Oh yes, that's the whistle.
Wait a minute,
ladies and gentlemen. That whistle means we are here to the new segment of our show. This is 3 Dreams ISO.
Whoa.
What this means is pretty much when you hear the whistle, we gotta take our time, and one of the hosts gets to ask the other host questions that they're not prepared for.
Okay.
2 questions that.
Wait a minute.
You know, they're not.
So you about to ask me? Wait a minute.
Any sports, any topics.
I'm gonna need a lawyer. Before we start asking questions.
Yeah, because you're the first one for this ISO trip, man. The pressure's on you.
All right.
So speaking of basketball, I'm gonna keep it basketball, okay?
Okay.
I wanna know in this season coming up, who would you rather have on your organization, your team? You know, no matter the role, if it's starting or bench, would you roll D Wade or Carmelo Anthony?
I'm taking D Wade. No, that's not even
gonna roll with the Wade.
That's not even a question. That's not even a real question. That's one of them trick questions. Because first off, we all know D Wade is better than Melo. I mean, he's got a ring. That automatically makes him better. Plus, for me,
well, remember what I said. 2018.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Still give me D Wade because you know why? I feel like D Wade can give me more than Melo when it comes to like the intangible things. Because we've all seen Melo play defense. We've all seen Melo attempt to rebound. We've all seen Melo, attempt to like be a teammate every once in a while. But for me, D Wade, I feel like gives me the veteran leadership to be able to be like, look, I've done it. This is how it needs to be done. Not taking anything away from Melo, but I just feel like Melo's kind of that guy that I'm going to do my own thing.
Okay.
So that's why I would take 2018 D Wade over Melo, because I feel like with D Wade, I can mentor younger players. With Melo, you can do that, but I feel like at the same time you got to be like, look, this man done made all his money. He's just he's on his way out.
He can mentor them to be financially set for life.
Well, yeah. I mean, the only man I know get picked by the team and then get told, nah, man, we'll give you $20 to go away.
Oh, that's tough, man.
I mean, so all right, what's the next question?
Next question, man. I feel like it only makes sense to enter this because where are we now? I think we're, 3 weeks away from the football season? I'm going to go football, okay?
Okay.
It's kind of, there are multiple parts to it.
Okay, okay.
But it's one question. So here we go. Who do you see
all right
winning the MVP, Rookie of the Year, and which rookie do you see struggling?
So for MVP, I'm going to say Todd Gurley. I say we finally get a running back.
You think they finally paid the respect?
I think we finally get a running back.
Okay. Because
I feel like if the Rams really take off, it's going to be because of him. Because he's the focal point of the offense, and I feel like he can do it. I feel like he can do it. I would go with Bell, but I feel like he's kind of done too much. He's done a little too much, and nobody's going to really feel vote for him. Gurley did his thing.
Fair enough.
Rookie of the Year, I feel like I'm going to have to go with another running back. The guy you get picked up, number 2, Saquon Barkley.
Oh, there's my boy. Thank you.
I mean,
you're giving us awards. I like it.
But I feel like he is the most ready player to produce. I mean, I feel like he can be the Alvin Kamara of last year, but he's just without Mark Ingram. I feel like he can do that. So that'll work. The rookie I see struggling, I'm gonna go with Sam Darnold. I'm gonna go with Sam Darnold just because it's the Jets. I mean, your wide receivers already almost got punched in the face.
Oh man, yes. Did you see that? We're gonna talk about that later. Hold on. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I just feel like from what you saw in college to now, yes, he had a great first preseason. I mean, everybody looked good in the first preseason game because there's a lot of jitters, except the guy Paxton Lynch out here. We already started a GoFundMe page to buy him out. But I just feel like he's going to struggle. And for defensive rookie of the year,
you throwing in a bonus?
I might.
Let me see this.
I'm kind of curious to see, because I watched the Cleveland game when he Ward, the cornerback they picked. So I'm going to go with him. So I'm going to give you the three options that I see winning, because I think he has a chance at it. I want to say Minka Fitzpatrick has a real good shot at it.
That's my boy, man.
He has a good shot at it. And I'm also going to go with Derwin James. I feel like this is going to be a cornerback, safety type of defensive year, for them. I mean, all of them are put in great positions to produce. So that's what I feel. That's what I think. I mean, if any fans disagree, let me know.
Hey, man, good job making it through our first ISO. You did great. And once again, I'm not going to give my input because this is the ISO. This is your time to shine, baby. I think you handled it.
Well, thank you. I mean, I almost wanted to get a lawyer on the phone just to make sure because I didn't know what was going on.
You kind of went into it with the Mamba mentality. I was just waiting on the sideline. I didn't think you were going to pass. You sure as hell didn't. And you just shot the three every time.
I mean, what else? What else is there to do? I mean, passing ain't...
Maybe next time we ask you 81. Maybe you go for it.
Whoa. Hey, now, easy. Like, we can't go full Mamba mentality. I might pull a hammy or something.
Oh.
It's dangerous out here. But I mean, now that we're into football and stuff like that, you brought it up. Let's go ahead and talk a couple of preseason games. I know there's been quite a few already, but let's talk about your Giants because I know you had to like what Barkley did. I mean, first play, 39 yards. Tell me how you feel about that. What do you feel about the Giants after seeing them in action for a little bit?
All right, so here's my breakdown. So, on the Everything Sports page we have, if you're not following, please come. It's fun. We talk sports the same way. We have fantasy football, all that good stuff. Please come join us. We'll love to have you. We had a couple fans out there talking about his finish, how I want to say his total was 5 for 45 or something along those lines. Please don't hold it to me. I don't remember off the top of my head. But he had the one that he broke, and it went for 39. Well, here's my thing. Even if that's the case, I mean, he still looked good when you compare, other people running the ball. He definitely outshined Stewart, who, I mean, I'm hoping he really is that locker room guy they're preaching because he did not look good in the preseason for me. I'm definitely hoping Martin, the other running back we got, definitely still is a roster spot. I definitely think it's going to be hard, though. I loved everything I got to see with him later on. He was definitely looking good, but I think it'll be hard. We got a crowded backfield. I think we will end up letting him go to keep Goldman, Stewart, and Barkley. Now, offensively, of course.
Hold on. That Stewart guy, he's going to lead your team in rushing, right? He looked amazing.
Okay,
looked great. Looked amazing. I mean,
okay. So, clearly, obviously we're not going to play Odell and let it be known his injury. He didn't want to play. Coach said I wasn't going to play him anyway. So, other than that, I actually don't think Eli looked too bad. He was able to get the ball where he needed it to get it. I think the thing that concerns me, well, let me stay on offense real quick. Barkley, they ended up saying he kind of messed his hamstring up a little. I'm not concerned. If you remember rookie season, Odell did something very similar, and what he do? Go on to kill it. I feel like coaches are smart with these type of situations, and Coach said he was going to be smart. He's not going to rush him back. He's not going to. It's the preseason. We already seen what he could do, right? In the first game, it's not like he struggled. If he struggled, maybe we sneak him in one of these games, but we already said we're going to play it smart, get him back. Going defense, this is where I'm concerned. This 3-4. We got to figure it out, man, with our pass rushers, our DBs. First off, I'm not I'm not sure I'm a believer in Eli Apple. Obviously, he had the mental breakdown last year. He was going after everyone in the locker room, including one of the defensive leaders, Landon Collins, which was huge because, Collins has pretty much become the heart of the defense. So if you're going at the heart of the defense, I mean, you're not scared to go at anyone, in my opinion, because, like I said, he's the face of the defense. I've watched him live where I've attended games. I've seen Mike Evans bully him. I think, he thinks this is, not that he thinks, I shouldn't say that. He likes to play press like this is college where he was able to, play a little more physical. But, hey, this is the NFL. This is the big boys. Mike Evans had his way when I was at that game with him. He's not the most, he's not the biggest corner out there. I'll put it that way. So I'm concerned for our DBs. Our pass rush, we got to get there. Tyrod looked, and I'm not even going to talk Baker yet. I know everyone's happy about him, but I want to talk about the starters because at the end of the day, that's what we're going to see come regular season, right?
Well, I mean,
to me, Tyrod killed us, and that's not to say he shouldn't have because he has the weapons now, right? He's got weapons he's never had in Buffalo.
That's what I'm saying.
Receivers, yeah. But that's a concern for me because we had our starting defense out there, and he just ate us up, man. So I am concerned. We definitely have to work on this defense and figure it out. This might be a couple of year plan where we get pieces in. For the longest time, we've been a 4-3. We're changing to a 3-4. So we got to get 3-4 guys in. We got to get the linebackers in. It's going to take time, but, I mean, I want to see more of this defense. They definitely got to step it up for me game 2. I want to see more from them.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you concerned because it was the Browns that got off on your defense, or is it – okay.
No. It has nothing to do with the Browns because, like I said, this is a different Browns team.
Okay.
If you guys remember when we did our NFL tour, I actually got Cleveland possibly sneaking into the wild card in the AFC. I think this is a decent Browns squad offensively. Tyrod, like I said, one of the most underrated Pro Bowler quarterbacks out of the bunch. Him and Alex Smith, probably the most disrespected dudes that don't get respect when it comes to that, right? My concern is we literally couldn't stop them at all, like not once. That's my concern. And granted, I get it. They didn't play a full game. I get that. I get it's only a drive or two for guys.
That is true. I mean,
but I want to see at least one stop, at least get pressure in his face where he throws one ugly pass where it's out of there watching it. I'm more concerned though. We got to get in the quarterback's face, and our DBs have got to be able to make plays as well. So that's where I'm at as far as that. Well, I think we're going to stop the run. I think we are. We got dudes that can do that. Snacks is going to eat.
Well, going back to that, what I like, the first preseason game, I don't really put a lot of weight into on how the defense, the offense looked, because nothing's really planned out. You're not going in there with a game plan, so to speak.
Right.
You're playing pretty much base against everything. You're not trying to get fancy. You're not trying to. So I'm like, okay, I liked what I saw from the Browns. I was really impressed. I was impressed with the way Tyrod moved the ball up and down. I was impressed with Njoku, the kid out of Miami they drafted.
Man.
I mean, he gave me to compare him to somebody you're familiar with, the Evan Ingram type of deal. He's a tight end, but he's not big enough to be on the line. He's a wide receiver
more of a receiver type of tight end.
Yeah. And I feel like that worked out. They love him. He broke the pocket a lot. He showed that heart and desire that you want to see out of the number 1 pick. I mean, he looks thinner, so that right there had me happy. I figured he was going to come out there like, 260, looking like Kelvin Benjamin, ready to get on the line. But that looked good. The other thing I really liked about the Browns was the new attitude they seemed to have. It wasn't. You saw it. I mean, Landry getting a flag, catching a beautiful pass and stuff like that. You got Denzel Ward coming out and just laying the wood to somebody and then taunting him. I mean, that's not sportsmanlike. Kids out there don't do that. But
it's not the Cleveland that we're used to seeing that just rolls over.
Exactly. It's not that, where you're like, okay, we're going to go out here and they already have that mentality. We're going to lose by 20. I didn't see
Right.
that. I liked what I saw. Me personally, I was excited. I want to watch left tackle situation because
Mm,
Big Joe's gone.
right.
So I mean, to see that, it looked like he held up when Tyrod was in there. Of course, when Baker got in there, they pulled all the starters, and he was kind of like behind the second, third, guys off the stands line. But he looked good. The
Yeah.
defense looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, now looking back at it, do I wish they would have took Bradley Chubb to pair him with Myles Garrett? Maybe. But I was also impressed with the way Ward played. That's why I feel like he has a shot at Defensive Rookie of the Year, just because
Right.
he has that attitude that they've been missing in the secondary. And I feel like all their projects now, because Jabril Peppers got out there and played safety, I feel like they're finally putting it all together. I feel like we're going to see, like you said, something special from him.
How did you feel about Lamar and his Lamar Jackson in his second game? Because he had the Hall of Fame game and then everyone else's first preseason win. Did you get the catch that one?
I watched some of it. For me, he needs to learn how to slide.
Yeah,
I've seen that. That's my biggest fear with him.
I
Um,
agree.
he needs to learn how to slide, but at the same time, I mean, kid's electric. I don't know any other way to describe him. He's fun to watch. He's the reason why I'm going to watch Baltimore games, in the future. Because
Well, they were saying today, man, Baltimore finally looks like they have it all together, and they're excited about this team. Lamar, that move he put on that defender, where he shook him out his boots to score that touchdown. Hey, that was impressive. For a quarterback, I mean, not every quarterback can make that move. We've seen Allen in Buffalo try to get, and Allen was in the same situation where he's in third, fourth string lineman, and he got annihilated on that sack. I mean, that poor guy.
well, I mean, Jackson has that shake to him. If anybody's out there ever played football, a guy that just has that shake. Like, doesn't matter what he's doing, just
Right.
he wiggles, and you're like, wait a minute, my ankles, I need them. My knees, and he has that, and he has the speed. And what I'm really impressed with is when he's throwing the football. Now, is it the most accurate ball? Maybe, it depends. But I don't see any ducks. I don't see anything that has me worried because he has the arm strength. He has the arm talent. So that's what I'm glad they let him
If
show.
you're going to talk about throws that are beautiful and accurate, put some respect on my boy Cousins. Did you see that pass to Diggs? How beautiful that was!
Sir, I had
In
to
the
turn the TV
basket
off.
with the defender all over him.
I had to turn the TV off because
Wow.
that was
That was
one of those plays where it made me realize, you know what, Minnesota's about to be dangerous.
And it's funny because a lot of people question him. Oh, you guys were literally one game away. Was it necessary to get a quarterback, and was it necessary to pay him full guarantee, not 50%, fully guaranteed? Wow, that was an amazing throw.
Well, I mean, I would say that almost certified the hope of the fans. We have a real quarterback. But at the
Right.
same time, I mean, they weren't struggling last year. It was just things just didn't work out in their way. I mean, once they got past New Orleans, that kind of was like I felt like that was their game. Like that was it. Because after that, how do you come back and focus on next week? I mean, you can't unless you've got like
It's tough.
you got a Bill Belichick type of coach who's like, y'all don't even think about it,
Hey,
But
here's one for you, James. Here we go. How about your Carolina Panthers? How'd you feel? What would you like? Would you not like? Did you think Cam should have went full thug mode? I mean,
oh, when he squared up with Benjamin, no.
yes.
I mean, he's already out here. First off, if I was Benjamin, I wouldn't even talk shit to Cam. Because you know why? Because Cam already turned around and looked at a kid and said, say what? So that lets you know Cam will fight a
He's
kid.
gonna fight that kid.
Yeah, that lets you know right there. Cam's going to fight that kid. But for Cam to walk up, Cam, you 6'5", 245 pounds. You better not. You better go on somewhere with that. But for me, I was excited I like what I saw from Cam. I like what I was able to see, from the offense and stuff like that. Because it finally feels like they've figured out how to use all the pieces they have.
Right.
It's no longer we've got 20 million running backs. We've got Christian McCaffrey back there, who's really an all-purpose back, and then we got Curtis Samuel, kind of as that Tyreek Hill type of player. So I feel like that'll help him out. And then I just want to see how everything goes. I want to see when North Turner actually opens up the playbook with Cam to see what we get, because everybody who's ever played under North, their quarterback rating has shot through the roof. And I mean, that's what we need. This is the Cam's year to actually say, hey, I'm the guy. I'm the man. Because yes, he's won MVP. Yes, he's run Rookie of the Year. But at the same time, the organization has to kind of be like, is this the guy that can get us back to another Super Bowl?
Right.
And it's not, no disrespect to Cam or anything like that. It's just business. And I think this is kind of that year they want to see something more from him.
Okay. I can buy that. Flip side to that, we seen Benjamin having a decent game, man. Are you buying it? Are you buying that he's gonna light it up? Or
first off, it's summertime in Buffalo. Everybody looks good.
Oh, man.
I mean, let's be honest. I feel like that first preseason game, we all fall into the same. Why does my defense look like garbage? Why is this? Why is that? And you got to realize, a lot of teams are, they're playing their base package. They're not trying to get exotic. They're not trying to show too much. And I mean, also, this is the time where people are trying to make the team. So, people are rotating in and out, and people are trying too hard. People aren't, fully acclimated to the speed of the game yet. And it's summertime in Buffalo. It's preseason game number 1. They got rid of, once Buffalo got rid of Tyrod, I don't hope they do anything good this year. I hope they have a rough year, because they disrespected Tyrod like that.
Yeah, that was rough for me. I didn't like it either. I mean, I didn't like the exit. I didn't. I gotta agree with you on that.
I mean, as far as other preseason games I've been able to watch, I mean, I watched the Rams play a little bit. I mean, I kind of want to see what's going on there. I want to see the defense actually play a whole game and see how that works out. But since we're talking about about defense and stuff that wins championship, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
How do you feel about the Oakland situation with Khalil Mack and them not talking? Do you think he's on the trading block? Do you think he should be on the trading block?
I think if I'm them, and I already have it set, because here's the thing, right? We know for a fact a couple of things for certain, right? We know they got a new head coach there, right?
Yep.
And we know he has not reached out to Matt.
Yes, sir.
Which for me, that's the wrong answer. You should at least show face. Hey, send him a text. Hey, Mac, just so you know, this is who I am. This is my contact. Something. Reach out to the guy.
I'm the $100 million man.
Can we meet for lunch? Something. I mean, the dude is your best defensive player, arguably the best dude in the NFL on defense right now. You got to reach out to him. I mean,
yes, sir.
I was more mind blown about that part. Like, why did you not reach out to him? And that's what I want to know. Why not? So what's the reason? Because he's holding out? I mean, that's the only leverage any athlete pretty much has, is to hold out. You see it more in NFL because they don't get paid that much compared to MLB or NBA. So they do hold out to get top dollar. But, I mean, I feel like if you at least reach out as the head coach, new sheriff in town, he's like, well, dang, okay, maybe I got a little support here. Not reaching out, it's like, dang, I ain't got no support? Like, no one up there want to go? Okay, cool. So for me, with that, I'm trading him. That's how
Wow.
No. In this situation, I wouldn't want, like I said,
okay.
I wouldn't reach out to him. But since I'm not reaching out to him, and he doesn't want to come, obviously, he's looking to get paid. I'm not going to lose the guy if I can't get a contract done for nothing.
Okay.
I need something for him. Why not offer the Rams a trade? Why
Because
not try to make a 1-for-1? You see where I'm going for this?
because you know what's going to happen. David Stern's going to come out of nowhere and be like, nope, nope, nope. Hey, Roger, you can do this. Roger, just say no.
Listen, dude. Either you're gonna lose him for a portion of the season. He seems pretty content on not coming in.
But
this is ugly.
Okay, so let's say they do make this trade and he goes to St. Louis. Do you feel like that's a Golden State type of move where it's like now we've got pretty much the West, we've got the Pro Bowl defense right
here? Here's the thing. I'm not sure yet because, okay, Talib is getting a little older. And Talib, to me, I've seen him get, last year, I've seen some guys get over on him. The other thing to that is Sue. Sue, you don't know what you're going to get with him. He might have a bipolar moment. And then the other thing is, how do all these pieces fit? How do they fit together? Now, granted, it was preseason and whatnot, but we've seen them get kind of beat up, the defense. But so, and like I said, I get it. I get that it's preseason. I get it. But I'm just saying, I want to see them live, a real game, how it gels. Because this might not gel. Their communication might be off. There might be because all those guys that they picked up pretty much have egos and like to talk. It might be too much. There might be too many guys that want to be just that top dog over there. Who knows? So this could end up backfiring.
So, a quick question. For the people that are watching, do you think it's easier for an NBA team to add a superstar than it is an NFL team, or do you think it depends on the position?
Wait, ask again. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
So, you know how in the NBA you can just pretty much plug and play a superstar?
Right.
You go pick up Kevin Durant, you're good to go.
You saying is it easier NBA or NFL?
Yeah, is it easier? Because you also got to
think. I think overall it's easier in the NFL.
Okay.
In the sense of, I can. We seen Cousins. I don't want to call him that all-star dude, but we seen him he made some nice throws, right? Because we're not going to take his accuracy away. As long as the dude knows the playbook, he knows where the ball is going to be, right? The difference in this situation is there too much on that defense? That's my only concern.
Makes sense.
Like, is there just too much ego? There might be too many guys over there. That's what I think. Because when you think about that defense, everyone's got an ego that they picked up. That they're just bigger than life, I don't know. And I think it's going to be interesting. Now, if it gels, this could be the top defense. This could be the top
Better
defense.
Than Jacksonville.
It could be. Right now, there was a question on Everything Sports, and I'm still plugging Jacksonville in the top because they showed it. This isn't a matter of a bunch of new guys coming together saying, let's make it happen. So I showed the respect to Jacksonville. Now, if St. Louis gels and this works out, this can be that top defense. But what Sue are we going to get? Are we going to get a consistent Sue that can be level-headed and make the plays? Are we going to get the one that trying to rush up to get to the
stomping on people
and miss it and opens the lane for the run like he's done in the past, and then gets frustrated and stomps on the offensive lineman because of his mental mistakes? It's tough. It's tough.
Okay, I agree with that. I was just curious because I kind of agree with. For me, I would say it would be basketball, and then for football, it would depend on what position. Okay. Because, like if I get a superstar quarterback, I feel like it's easier to plug and play him. But with a wide receiver, if I go out there and get, let's say we get Odell, we got to work on our timing. We got to get together. We got to understand each other. But with basketball, there's not really much.
We see Miami struggle when they built their first three. You remember the big three when they struggled. Boston struggled at first. So, I think it's more so if you pick up one guy, it might not be too bad. But I think in basketball, when you start to get multiple at the same time, that's when it gets. I think that's where it gets a little more difficult.
I agree with you on that one. Well,
no. I'm sorry.
we've got we've got a couple of minutes. I mean, if there's any fans that want to
Yeah,
ask
that's what I'm
something,
gonna.
throw it out there. If not, we'll keep talking about whatever we got on our minds and stuff like that. I mean, we've got, I don't know if you've got any UFC fans out there, but I think Conor McGregor and that dude that he wanted to fight are actually going to do
Yeah.
it. It's going to go down.
Yes.
I feel like that's a fight I'm willing to pay for. I don't know how many people still pay for UFC. I feel like I'm the only one out there. You know,
Hey, I'm supporting UFC too, brother. Don't you worry about it.
thank you, thank you. I just got to make sure. I mean,
Yeah. This is definitely it's an entertaining time. I want to see as far as the UFC. I'm mad because of who it is versus him, but I'm excited to watch the Brock Lesnar DC fight. Now I'm mad that it is DC because I'm not that big on him. To be honest, because even though Jones can't get over cocaine and he's always been in trouble the last few years, Jones to me is head and shoulders above DC. And if Jones's walk around weight, he said before, is 250. Now, granted, I understand that's completely different than fight weight, but I would like to see Jones fight a heavyweight. To see, because that dude annihilates light heavyweight. Like, it really was nothing.
He's high as a kite. I mean, he's got that superhuman coke
Stop.
strength.
See, here you go.
He go in the corner. Hey man, get this bump in you.
Oh man,
You need that energy. But I mean,
stop.
Come on, man. I mean, if you can't stay clean, if you can't get clean, I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, I can't sit here and be like, because I feel like that brings us back to.
He was my favorite fighter. I hate that.
But I feel like that.
Stay clean. And for you kids out there, always remember, crack is whack. Please remember that.
But I feel like that brings us back to our opening topic with Barry Bonds. I mean, if Jones was to get in the Hall of Fame, or if they were like, hey, we're going to put you in the UFC Hall of Fame, how would you feel about that? Yes, he is one of the baddest men on the planet, but at the same time, I mean, he's like Tony Montana and everything.
It's tough because for me, I'm a huge Jones fan. I'd be okay with him making it to the Hall of Fame. I feel like everyone knows the story. Everyone knows what happened. But when you look at his fights, man, the dude's an animal. Like, I hate that I hate his situation because he really was on his way to do unreal stuff, and it's unfortunate. But I definitely would love to watch him fight Brock Lesnar over the DC fight. I think it'd be interesting to see because John Jones, it's no secret, his fighting style is mastering his opponent's fighting style and beating them with it, which is crazy. Brock Lesnar in every fight tries to use his power. So that would be insane to see Jones try to outpower Brock Lesnar and fight this dude and try to grab. Well, exactly. That's why I would love to see it. Like, that would be insane.
First off, he's going to come out there like Craig and Debo. He's going to come out with a brick.
He might have to. Like, I would love to see it, dude. Like, it would be insane.
You love to see, that's unnecessary violence. You see somebody throw a brick at another man. I wouldn't. I'm not going to lie. I'd do it. Let Brock look at me the wrong way. I'm throwing bricks. I'm throwing tires. I'm throwing babies.
Hit him with a whole child. No.
You got me. He might be hungry, man. Eat this. Leave me alone. But
I mean, hey, this has been Three Dreams. Nobody's really got questions for us. We'll wrap this up. Please like, comment, subscribe to us. Follow us on Everything Sports, man.
Hey, I mean, get out to tell your friends and stuff like that. College football is going to start picking up. We're going to focus on that. We might even try to work in like a little fantasy football segment, where we talk about how things are going. And then, I mean, maybe y'all got your drafts coming up. You got questions. Maybe you did a mock draft or something like that. Hey, hit up Everything Sports. Drop what you got. I mean, like us, subscribe to us, let us know how your draft went, and just keep coming back, keep telling your friends. We got everything in order again. Sorry about last week. Comcast decided we're gonna throttle the internet. While y'all trying to do big things, but hey,
remember they can't keep us down though. They can't keep us down.
There you go. You can't keep us down. Hey, like, subscribe, tell your friends. You know, it's that girl you like, give her a note with your number on
Share
it. There you
all
go.
that good stuff.
You know, tell her. But like my partner over there, Derek Martin, said, this is Three Drink Sports. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending time with us on Sunday. Hey, peace out. You know, everybody have a great day.